All right, all right, all right. Good evening, Diana. Good evening, Mountain Man. I'm back. If I'm live, you guys let me know if you're still in here. All right, let's see where I am. All right. Oh, there's where we needed to be. All right. Hey, 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 Teresa. Mount A. No, I have not thawed out yet. I am not going to thaw out, I don't think. Hey, Leroy, what's up, my man? Oh, it's cold, cold, cold. And today, the worst thing that could happen happened to me. Man, I'll tell you. It's because I forgot. Uh, but last night, it got down to -7. And the hot water line froze up. Or, well, the line going into the hot water heater, that line froze. I had cold water, but no hot water. Uh, and then I finally got it thawed out, and the line, it was the old PVC, had busted. And man, trying to get back behind that water heater, get that line cut, get new, new line in there to get water coming back again. That was a trip. Car and street covered in 3 feet of snow. And I know the feeling. Now we didn't get 3 feet, but we got some snow. Hey Gary, what's up? I put on Facebook, Gary. Thank goodness. I don't even want to get out of here, Teddy. I don't want to hear about that 80s. uh, yeah, I know Florida or the Carolinas just getting hammered right now. Oh my goodness. Hey Frank, what's up, bud? But Gary, yeah, working man. That's what I am now. Now I could talk about the job a little bit because I went ahead and took it, and uh, this 20-hour a week job that I was going to work, that I told them I didn't, wasn't going to take, that they hired me for. Uh, I worked Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day this week. And it was going to be a 2-day a week job. Monday, I have to drive all the way up to Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. So it's fun. But yeah, Gary, I was just telling him we had a water line freeze up, and once it thawed out, it had busted in a couple places. It was old PVC that was feeding the water heater. Uh, that thing froze up solid. And like I said, once it finally thawed, it was showering. So I had to shut the whole water off to the house. And fortunately, Alex was home to help. So we got the line replaced, got the new line in there so I could get water back on in the house. But I was going to have to call Gary if Alex wasn't home. Yeah, I was looking. I don't have a long range forecast, but we've the next 2 weeks, only 1 or 2 days is above freezing. That's it. And that's only 33 and 34. Hey, Susie Kaz, what's up? Oh, man, I'm glad to be on too. Hey, Ernie, what's going on? All right, let me tell you, I'm working now. I can discuss it now that I decided to to go ahead and do this. It's with a security guard company. I'm not a security guard, but what I'm doing with the company, uh, I'm interviewing candidates, I'm doing training, I'm going around to the different sites and doing quality assurance uh, check ins, QAVs, they call them, quality assurance visits. So I'll just have one day I'll go to 3 or 4 different sites, make sure the guards are properly dressed and, they're doing their jobs and, things like that. So it's working out pretty good. I went down uh, last Wednesday, I went down to Charleston and was down there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, going through training at the corporate office down in Charleston, West Virginia, and then came back up here to Wheeling. And Monday they wanted me to go somewhere, but that's when Sunday we got all the snow, and they were like, "Do you want to run up to?" It was in Newell, West Virginia. I said, "No, I am not driving in this shit." They hadn't even come through South Wheeling yet. There was no way to get out. And it's like, no, I'm not going up anywhere. So Tuesday I wound up going up there. Wednesday I was in training. Thursday I went to Follinsby, West Virginia. And then yesterday I was doing interviews, had to hire 2 people for a post around here. And then Monday I have to go to Aliquippa and interview people up there for a job. And then Tuesday back down here doing training on the 2 guys that I hired for. It just, all of a sudden, I'm like, this again, I got to remind them, this was a 2-day gig, 2 or 3 days max. 24 hours, all I wanted to work a week. But what are you going to do? Hopefully it works out. I mean, it's a job, and we all got to have jobs. Oh, they're public. So, I mean, they're, again, hospitals, banks, manufacturing places, construction sites, oil and gas sites, just every place that would use security guards. And this company's been around since like 1982. So, and they've got 200 or 300 employees. I mean, they're a legit thing. And I can't believe they hired me to do what I'm doing. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And this is the kind of job, too. We talked about this. When I move out to St. Bernard Acres, when we make the move, I can still do this job. I'm only going to be, it's only a 40-mile difference. And if we actually get it to 2 or 3 days a week, it'll be kind of nice. But they have a satellite office in Columbus, and they're looking into Zanesville and Cambridge area, which is where I'll be living. So this could be a cool thing for a few years. But it's been a long time since I had to interview people and hire people. Warming up in southern Minnesota, it ain't warming up here. Send some of that warmth here. How was it up on the hill there, Gary? Last night, because it was -7 here. And if I'd have thought about the fact that it was -7, I would have left the tap running, but I forgot about it. Man, I'm mountain man. How's it look in as far as the roads? I got to go up to Aliquippa on Monday. Hopefully, I don't run into any problems. But you know what? I will say this: we were prepared here. You know, I went and got. Well, Gary went with me. Went and got one of the generators from out of St. Bernard Acres. Got an extra propane tank from St. Bernard Acres. Uh, I had my uh, big buddy, you know, Mr. Heater, big buddy heater ready to go. And my furnace here is gas, but it uses electric for the fan and the call for heat and everything like that. But I have them set up when they put the furnace in to where that's on a plug. So if I lose power, I still have gas. I can take one of my power stations down in the basement and plug the furnace into that, and it will run that for days on that little power station. So we were all ready. Hey, Joey No Knees, what's going on, my friend? All right, well, I'm pretty much going to be on 376. I'm going to go up to 22 and cut across to the turnpike, go up the turnpike a little bit, get on 376. It's not that much further above Pittsburgh, but I'm not going to be in Pittsburgh. Fortunately, I'll get to go around it. But I don't, you know, I don't know anything about this stuff. And uh, she texted me yesterday. How are the roads? I don't know. I'm going out tomorrow. I haven't been to St. Bernard Acres since last Saturday. Gary and I went out there and got the what I needed. I'm gonna take it all back tomorrow because we're past the storm. Uh, the extra stuff I went and got. I mean, it was an extra generator I brought, extra propane tank I brought. You know, that stuff. Gail and I are going out tomorrow, and my security cameras I got to charge. 3 of the security cameras in this cold have died, so they need charging. So we'll go out there tomorrow morning, get the cameras plugged in, and hang out for a little bit, go get something to eat, go back. You know, if the cameras get 3 or 4 hours of charging time, they'll last a few weeks then. But the last time we had snow, I mean, my gravel road out in front of St. Bernard Acres, they plow all of that and they treat all of that, the hill going up. I mean, I can't imagine having any problems. The problem will be getting up in my driveway. But I don't have to get up in the driveway. I can park there on the road and walk up. But I don't like this bitter cold. So what else is going on? Interesting that the river has ice on it. Yeah, when I went up to Follansbee yesterday, You could see the river was there. There was like a channel down the middle of it they had cleared. Once I got down around the airport and around the dam, it was unfrozen in that area. But up north, it looked like you could walk across it almost. Hey, Arkansas Prepper, what's going on, my friend? All right. I wish I was in Arkansas. Well, you guys got hammered a little bit too, but it just won't last as long down there as it is up here. But we literally have, and I haven't seen this for years. I don't know about Gary. I haven't seen it for years. Piles and piles of snow all over the place that are going to be here for weeks. I went through over a quart of wood in 2 weeks. Wow, that is a lot. Man, it's just so cold. I can't get over it. And Gail was, talking about the fact she had seen the, Farmer's Almanac. It called for a wetter summer and or winter and a colder winter than normal. They might have been right. I know that damn groundhog, if he sees his shadow Monday, he's going on the grill. I'm done with this. Wow, from Belleville Dam down to Marietta? What a trip. But you know what? This was not, this was a good storm. But this is not, I've seen much, much worse, and so have all of y'all. They just now, the news and the Weather Channel, all their reporters and everything, they're just so overly dramatic, that they report it as way worse than what it really is. It's just an inconvenience. Hey, Off-Grid Suburban Project, how are you, my friend? Colton, how are you, buddy? I haven't seen you for a while. We only received 15 inches of snow, but the piles of snow in the parking lots are really high. Yeah, that's it here. I wish I had my tractor here in Wheeling, because I could make some money just clearing out. We have all on-street parking here. I'm lucky I put in a parking pad behind my house, but most everybody has to park on the street. The plow just went through the middle. So basically, where your car was sitting, you dug that out and you're like parallel parking to get in between the snow piles. And it's like, if I had the tractor up here, I could be going along and, taking those snow piles and dumping them over in the lots and everything and clearing out roads for people for a price. They talked about ice so much I got confused. Yeah, that's they wanted to see that. They really did. Phil's wife is in Florida. I like that. Yeah, you guys are up there. You know him. But yeah, I think the Weather Channel, they wanted it to be way worse than what it was. It just, what a shame. You notice my netting is down to Gary bought for me. I got to work on this house and patching up some stuff and getting ready to paint around here. So, and I'm surrounded by books that I'm trying to get listed or buy off of eBay. It's crazy. I've been so busy. I just have not had time to go out, or the desire to go out to St. Bernard. It's just too cold to do anything. No point going out there. This spring, we'll get to hit it again. We'll hit it and get it. And that's the good thing about working too, is I have all this extra money now that I can buy more stuff that I need while I can't be out there working on the place. All right. Well, a lot of our regulars haven't made it tonight. They're probably still fighting all of this crap too. Oh boy. I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting on a stimulus check too. I'll be dead before that thing ever rolls out. I don't even want to talk about that. I here's my solution I came up with all of the bickering that's going on, all the hatred between the left and the right, and the Dems and the Republicans, and fighting over absolutely everything. I think what we need to do, pick up arms, have the war, when we all kill each other, then let the illegals take over and let the Muslims take over. Just put an end to all of it. I think that's what we got to do. I just don't watch the news anymore. Now all I see are these reels and these stories about, they finally released a bunch of the Epstein stuff, I guess, and there's some people all over it that I am surprised were on it. Hey, Prepared For, how are you? Welcome. We're trying to catch up here. I'm now a working man. So, and it's really taking up a lot of my time. I finally, just today, I got to edit a video that I shot 2 weeks ago for a review. I just got it edited today. Yeah, I like the tax credit. I mean, Gail and I are going to get that extra $1,200 tax or $12,000 tax credit is going to help me a lot. Oh my God, Morgans, I love it. I wish I could convince my wife of that. I was lying to her all along until on the Weather Channel they told her the truth. Yeah, I mean, they're ready to take over too. I mean, we just, I hate to say it, Mountain Man, but it's like our country is gone, unless we do the only thing that's left, we are living in the times that our forefathers wrote the Second Amendment for. We are right now going through why they put that right in there. We have to take advantage of it. Only we can fix it. But I am sick to death of hearing about all this shit. You know what? I mean, I don't like this whole crap about ICE and these people that have been shot. The one thing I never want to hear, I hate hearing, and you hear it all the time, is, well, they shouldn't have been there. They got killed, they shouldn't have been there. Bullshit. They have to be there. That's our job. We've got to be there. We have to protest. We have that right to protest what we don't like, right or wrong. Don't tell me I shouldn't be there, because you're getting on that slippery slope there. But I think what has happened, the media has blurred the line between ICE enforcing the laws and the method by which they are forced to enforce those laws, if that makes any sense. The people don't like the way ICE has to do this, but it's the people who's making ICE have to do it this way. If the people would just let them do their jobs, we would get rid of all these people. You know, I don't know what it is. They're in every state. They're arresting them everywhere. Right, Dad? I don't know. They've probably done 200 or 300 here in West Virginia. No protests. Nobody out in the streets. Nobody arguing with them. They're doing a good job as far as I'm concerned. But it's like I gotta get away from all that. I'm tired of it. How's the new house coming along? It's not, because it's too cold. I can't get out there and work right now. They have the right to protest and bring a weapon, but they don't have a right to interfere with law enforcement. You're right, But what that's doing, they're beating it into us. And if you got Pam Bondi, who, by the way, I hate her. I think she is the snottiest bitch ever. I sometimes wish I was an attorney just so I could go up against her and beat her. I don't like Pam Bondi. I used to be totally in love with Kristi Noem. I wanted Kristi Noem to be, if Kristi Noem was on Donald Trump's ticket as a vice president, I would have voted for Donald Trump just because of Kristi Noem. But she's turned out, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm not pleased with how she's doing her thing either. I don't know if they're just all being backed into a corner or what. But this administration is scary. Whether you want to agree with me or whether you love Donald Trump or whatever, this is scary what is happening. And people are too worried about the Epstein files, they're too worried about ICE, all these other things, and they're not paying attention to what's going on behind the curtain. And that's where they need to be, is watching back there. Peaceful. Yeah, peaceful protests, I'm all for. I've been in protests that were peaceful. Seems like the Republicans, I hate to say this, the conservatives, their protests are a lot more peaceful and regular type protesting, how it should be. The left, and it's only Minnesota. I don't know. I guess they're so worried about the billions of dollars worth of fraud that's being investigated. Maybe that's why they're such trouble. But that's the only state that has this problem with ICE doing its job. Keep hearing something go off. I don't know what it is, and I don't know where my phone is. I thought I brought it in here, but evidently I didn't, but I keep hearing it. Oh, well. Oh, let me show you something. That's a cool tool. Where was this thing when every year I was climbing under this house to fix pipes? And this thing just cuts the PVC pipe right now. I used that and the shark bite fittings. The easiest plumbing job in the world. Well, apparently ICE isn't doing their job since they've not shown up at the Walmart parking lot in Fairmont. I understand that. Well, they can't be everywhere. But they are getting them. I mean, there were 3 arrested here in Wheeling over the last couple days. I mean, ICE, fortunately, is everywhere. Oh, I see my phone. Hang on. Oh, Jesus. I have 1 second after. What's going on? Lots of corruption in Michigan. Not just me. Oh, I know. Well, that also is everywhere. You know, it's just the I don't know. I can't talk about it much because I quit watching all the stuff. And it's hard for me to make commentary anymore because I'm trying to wash my hands of it. Plain, I don't know any other way of saying it. I want to get my job, get enough money to where I get finished out at St. Bernard Acres and move out there this year and be done with all of this. That's my goal. I think I, for one, have let all of this situation interfere with me more than I should have. You know, I mean, I used to be, I read all the time, all my books, I mean, that I'm dealing, that's what I used to do. I don't have time. There's so much going on that it's hard to dedicate the time to do anything else. So we just have to be done with it all. Oh, Mike, what's happening? My side is hurting. I don't know why my side's hurting. I think getting in there. The water line that broke was back behind the water heater. So you got 50 gallons of water in that thing. There you got 400 pounds plus the weight of the water heater. Trying to get that thing moved without breaking another pipe to where we could get our hands back there to the pipe that was broken and get that cut and, get the shark bite fittings on it. I'm just glad I didn't have to go underneath the house. When I first bought this house, I mean, every year for the first 5 years, I would have to crawl underneath the house and replace pipes, patch pipes that had been patched 8 times before. And then finally, I had a plumbing company just run PEX tubing throughout the entire house. And inside the utility room here with the water heater, they didn't replace that. That's what broke this time. School employees going on strike at Southwest Schools in a week. They took a strike vote for classified employees. I don't understand that one. But by the way, I love the PEX pipe. I went to Lowe's today. I bought 2 of the shark bite fittings and a 5-foot piece of PEX. Once I got back behind there and got that old pipe cut out, new pipe popped in, we were good to go. They have no issues throwing other people's money down the toilet. When do we get to spend their corrupt money? We never will. We never will get any stimulus money. We never will get $2,000 tariff money. We won't get $5,000 Doge money. It's just all fodder, if that's the word for it. It's political rhetoric. is to keep our minds off of what's really going on. You know? Oh yeah, I see what you're saying, Teresa. Columbus, I think, is just as bad, if not worse, than Minneapolis as far as the fraud goes. Frank, how many baseball caps do you have? Oh, jeez. Just sitting here, I probably got 8 or 10 of them that I don't even have put away. Uh, I had a bar down in Houston back in the late 70s when the ball cap craze first took off, when every company had ball caps and everything. And in my bar, everybody who came in was bringing me hats from different places, different companies. And, I have one of the original Cat diesel power hats. That's what started the whole thing. So I probably had 400 or 500 of them. I have no idea. Yes, PEC pipes are great. Make sure you get the ones that expand though. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I have Ernie. I've had the pipes in the utility room. I've had them freeze because they're down in a crawl space. I've had them freeze for a little while, but they don't break. They thaw back out because that PEX tubing expands. Uh, so that's all I'm going to put in the house out of St. Bernard Acres. That's cool. It seems like every video. Yeah, I have a bunch of different ones. I mean, Alex just brought me this one when he went down to the Philippines in November. He brought me this. Gary gave me a Route 66 hat. I don't have it up here. Oh, it's over there. Yeah. So I have a bunch. It's crazy. I have too many. In case anybody wants to send me hats, I do love them. There's no doubt about that. Now I got to put those back up. I had to buy that tool and it cost me $300 for it. $300. This was $15 at Home Depot or at Lowe's. It was $15. This will do up to 1 5/8 PVC and rubber and PEX, all of it. And you just, it just ratchets down. Nice clean cuts, no having to sand everything off. The crimping tool. I bought the crimping tool for, the PEX fitting, to crimp all of it. I bought a whole kit off of Amazon and it was probably $35, $40 for the one tool that Lowe's wanted $100 for. I got the whole set for a third of that. Now maybe it won't last as long, but I'm not a plumber by trade. I just need to do my plumbing and that's it. Gigi, oh, hang on a second, girl. I'll clean that off for you. Get up there. Can you? Sorry. She's wanting to get up on her cat tree and I got it covered up with shit. I might have to clean that off for her. Alright, what else is happening? Right, I mean, I did 10 or 5 or 6 years ago, I wouldn't have known the difference either. I'd have just had to have bought it. But doing all that I do now, I have learned and figured things out. I mean, this is stuff. Fortunately, the bad thing is, all right, you made it up there, good girl. Um, the bad thing is, um, all of my tools are out at St. Bernard Acres. I don't have anything here, you know. I have a set of these cutters, you know, but they're out at St. Bernard Acres. I had to go to Lowe's and buy this one, but it was only, like I said, $15, you know. So I have an extra. Those shark bite fittings, though, oh my gosh, have the price skyrocketed on those things. What's the next project? Hey, Mike, the next project out at St. Bernard Acres is the plumbing and the bathroom. Now, Alex is buying the toilet, the shower, and the vanity. So he's, whenever we're ready for that. I mean, this is all going to become his someday anyway. Why aren't you prepared? I am prepared. I was prepared to go to Lowe's and buy one. And if I couldn't have gone to Lowe's and bought one, I would have gone out to St. Bernard Acres and got my tools. I saw, I saw a thing on Facebook that they arrested some illegals here in Wheeling, and the comments were like, "Go to Walmart at this address and pick them up. Go over here. There's 30 of them over here." It's like they're everywhere. My daughter works at the Department of Human Services. She's had to deny a ton of them for assistance. I'm glad somebody's denying them. You know, everybody says they're all getting free everything. I don't believe that. Did you see where Walmart, though, got busted for raising prices and uh, raising prices on products made in the USA and then blaming it on tariff increases? You see where they got busted with that? Let's all go invade Mexico. I used to say Mexico owes us so. This was back in the '80s. Mexico owes us so much money. Why don't we just foreclose on them and take over? You know, I would much rather take over Mexico than Greenland. I don't see anybody taking cruises up to Greenland. No vacation spots up there. They're hopefully, Susie, they're all going to get caught. You know, but at least we could all go get jobs with ICE right now. Yeah, 600. Oh, yep. They're working. Walmart doesn't care, Susie. You don't expect Walmart, you know, all anybody at Walmart is a body in a position. That's all. They don't care about legal status. I mean, when I do this with this company now, I do the interviewing and all this shit. I got to fill out this I-9 form. You got to verify, there's different forms of verification you have to go through to prove that, you are a U.S. citizen before you can get a job with us. Um, Yeah, they bought fake Social Security cards. They're helping the economy. They're spending the money here. I've got a printer. They can buy some off of me. Walmart is a shit company. You know what? Walmart didn't used to be. I'm going to tell you something that Walmart did in Cincinnati. Uh, Gail went to work at Walmart, at one of the new stores. And this was back in the mid 80s. And they were stocking shelves, getting ready to open. And she noticed she lost the diamond out of her engagement ring. Right? And the store, I mean, everybody there looked for it and looked for it. Nobody could find it. Walmart bought her a new diamond for her ring. That's how Walmart used to be with people. I know they aren't anymore, but they used to be that way. Well, they're not sending all their earnings back to, it's like, you can't, it's like the drug wars. You can't stop the drugs from coming here unless you can stop the people, you kill the market for it. If the people didn't do drugs, they wouldn't be bringing drugs in here, right? And if they're sending their money back to their country, I mean, the companies that hire them have to be held responsible for that. Why are we not going after the employers? Because it's against the law to hire these people in the first place. If you start enforcing the laws that we have already, a lot of this shit will solve itself. But we need the chaos, we need the turmoil, we need the distractions. That's why nothing is being done. But you start finding these companies that hire these people, they're going to quit hiring them. That'll dry up and they will go back home on their own. My grandpa used to ride his bike 3 miles to be a door greeter for Walmart when he was 83. I thought about doing that. His first dad, an older gentleman, asked him to lunch and was talking to him about what he thought of Walmart, if he liked it, if he ran it, what changes would he make. Yes, that Walmart used to be that way. And then Sam Walton died, and all the Walton children took over. Then it went public. Then you've got this gigantic board of directors, and all anybody is worried about is the profit for the shareholders. They don't care about the people anymore. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Sam Walton, that's the way he used to be. It couldn't be that friendly for 4 hours a day. I believe that one. I believe that one. I would have that kind of trouble, I think. Now they don't have people greeters. You notice they all got the vest on that say asset control or some kind of shit like that. I mean, they're not allowed to do anything. Don't put me in a position where I'm in charge of, making sure things aren't stolen and then tell me I'm not allowed to do anything if things are stolen. What is the point there? You know? I don't understand it. Oh, yeah, they are. They've been the richest family for a long time. Yeah, an illusion of security, I guess. Well, the family then, Ernie, has been losing money because, I mean, an entire family worth $500 billion is not really that impressive anymore when you have so many individuals that are worth hundreds of billions of dollars. What Elon Musk by himself is what 600 billion now or 700 billion. But Elon Musk's name has been thrown around on this list supposedly. You know, the best thing, we had ICE travel through and stop for fuel, and all the Mexican restaurants closed for a week. No employee. Oh, I'll bet. Let me tell you a funny story. When I worked down in Houston, uh, I worked for Jim Walter Papers. It was a um, paper warehouse. You know, it's what they sold. They sold paper, printing paper, and stuff like that. Big, giant warehouse. A lot of Mexicans worked there. So one day I had met Gail. Gail and I were dating, and she came to pick me up one day to take me to lunch. And she was a deputy with the sheriff's department, right? So she pulled up there. I was a warehouse manager, and she went in the front doors and asked where Joe was, and they said, well, he's back in the warehouse. So she came out and she stepped up into that warehouse with her uniform on, everything. You should have seen them Mexicans. They were diving out the back docks and running across that field. They were just flying. And I'm trying to tell them, dude, she's not INS. Don't worry about it. But yeah, they were flying. I'll bet they did uh, close down all the Mexican restaurants. As of January, 788 billion. Yeah, he's going to be the first trillionaire. But he's part of that group. I mean, they will never be there. That just all gets passed to each other. A 90-year-old in a wheelchair for security. Now, this company I started to work for, they have armed guards as well as unarmed guards, depending on the site and depending on what the client wants. But there are so many rules and laws involved in security guard. It's amazing the red tape that different states have. Admitted, Joe, it was love at first sight. Actually, it was. It was love at first sight. You know what? Here's how I met Gail. I met her in a bar. So I always tell people I met my wife in a bar. I had the bar, and one night I'm sitting there with my friend. We were playing a pinball machine. In walked this Harris County deputy sheriff, right? My first thought was, well, shit, what did I do wrong now? What did I do? Well, I had hired a barmaid that Gail was friends with. And she came by after work to visit with her friend there at the bar. And once I realized I was safe, I wasn't in any trouble. I'm sitting there with John, playing the pinball machine. I looked over at Gail and I told John, I said, you know what? She looked pretty good in that uniform and that big old gun on her hip. I was like, I might have to try to talk to her. But yeah, that's how we met. Oh yeah, I need some likes. Let's get some thumbs ups going there. I don't have a lot of time left. And 43 people in here. 6 of us talking. I was hoping to see Malachi in here. She put up a video, good with some really good tips of her getting ready. Ernie, you didn't get her drunk and take advantage of her now, did you? No, I did not. No, I did not. But after we started going together, it was great because I would take one of her jackets with the Harris County patch and everything on it and put it in the back of my car in the back window. Every time I got pulled over for speeding or whatever, they'd come walking up to me and they'd see that jacket and they're like, whatever. Go on. So I took advantage of that. All right. But yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know I'm still here. I'm going to start trying to make videos again next month, and hopefully things clear up. I can spend some time out at St. Bernard Acres. Yeah, she took advantage of me. That's what happened. Uh, when she was going through the academy, we were living in this apartment complex, and we were walking to the mailboxes to check the mail one day, and she had gone through class that day. They had worked on how to handcuff an unruly suspect if they had to apprehend somebody, and they were uncooperative. How to put handcuffs on them, and I'm like, I looked at her and laughed. I said, "There's no way you could put handcuffs on me if I didn't want you to." It was like whap, whap, whap. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, damn, So, okay, I guess you can. Uh, yeah, for all the new people that came in about the new job. Um, Last week, I went down to Charleston, West Virginia, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for training. This week, I've been back in Wheeling, so I'll be working out of Wheeling. It's with a security guard company. I won't be a security guard, but I'm going to be interviewing applicants, deciding who to hire, then training those applicants to be security guards, and then going to all the different sites around and do quality assurance visits. Make sure everything looks good in the uniform, everybody's wearing their uniforms and they know their jobs. Just that kind of stuff. Corporate, uh, I'll be working for corporate out of Charleston. And I have to drive my own vehicle, but I get 50 cents an hour, a mile from the time I leave my door. And I'm on the clock when I walk out the front door. It's kind of like working remotely. I kind of like that. Uh, no, it's not Acme Security. Uh, it's, well, speaking of hats, Security America. That's who it is. They've been around a while. But that logo, that's so 1980s, it's amazing. I told them about that too. But yeah, it seems like it'll be an interesting job. I mean, like I said, I'll be doing interviews and training, and, I did 6 interviews yesterday. We had 2 positions here in Wheeling that needed to be filled. And, I call them in for interviews, I interview them, and decide which ones are worthy and pass it on up. And then we got to train them. Checking up on corporate. There you go. Uh, but yeah, we're not, I'm not working for ICE, so not that kind of security. Um, But it should be a pretty cool job. I mean, it's something different. And that's what I told them when they hired me. Uh, they got this whole thing, all this paperwork and all this crap, to get hired. And I was going through part of it. Finally, I just emailed the girl down there. I texted her and said, look, I want a 20-hour a week job. I'm not going through all of this. You guys are spending way too much money to hire somebody for a part-time gig that's 68 years old. I think maybe you should probably look for another candidate. And I sent him that email, and the next morning the president of the company called and wanted to hire me. It's like, wow. Oh, everybody knows anybody can record. It's not a company that's going to get into that. They're just there, at gates, checking people in, checking people out, making rounds, making sure doors are locked, If there's somebody trespassing, they write that up. They don't deal with any of that kind of stuff. Um, they're not anywhere where that would even become an issue. They're not like guards at Walmart or anything like that. Construction sites, uh, hospital, almost akin to people greeters. Like I was when I was working security, just sitting at the desk and telling people what rooms people were in, you know? But the company's been around since 1982, so they must be doing something right the way I look at it. Do you have Somali pirates? I don't think so. I don't know of any. We very well may, but I don't know of any in Wheeling. Maybe down in Charleston or Morgantown, maybe around there, but none that I'm aware of in Wheeling. So I'm good to go there. Not all security companies know all that. Just private is different than public. Yeah, we're all public, you know. Um, and it nobody's going to stop. We're not in security guards not in a position to stop anything there's no law enforcement capabilities here. You can't detain anybody. You can't. It never gets into that. Oh yeah, the pirate. No pirate. Yeah, river's frozen, so they all had to go somewhere else. Yeah, observe and report. That's it. That's all they do. And they're like I said, they sign people in, and open up the gate and let this truck through, and uh, visitors come and they tell them where to go and what room to go to, stuff like that. That's all it is. I would be too old to get into that. But anyway, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to have to get off of here. My side is hurting. I think I might have twisted something when I was trying to move that water heater and get behind that water heater. Uh, but like I said, I'm going to try to shoot some more videos together and get things, back to going again. And I miss making my videos. But it's been a crazy few weeks trying to get all this stuff organized, and the job has taken a lot more of my time than I suspected it would. But I like it. I'm not complaining about it. I think it's cool. Um, it makes me feel good after what Lowe's did to me. Lowe's bummed me out, and these guys realize I do have some value to offer. Uh, and they like it. So that was good for me. But everybody, stay warm, stay vigilant, be prepping. Don't stop prepping, or if you haven't started, do it now. It's coming. I can't impress that enough upon people. You know, a whole lot more people since COVID are preppers. So you can find people who are preppers to help you out. You can, if you want to be part of a group, or if you want to sit around and brainstorm with other preppers, there are plenty of them out there now. We aren't the oddball ones anymore. So help out other preppers, you know, things like that. We got to work together. You know, while everything else is collapsing around us and falling apart, we all have to stick together. We have to be the ones that make sense of all of this. But remember, uh, Ernie, don't go there, dude. It's like it's a company, and they're delivery drivers, and they're coming in like to the steel plant. You know, they have to record what company is coming to, uh, you know, what they're delivering. It's not, you know, that kind of thing. Uh, they don't have to sign in. They just got to, you know, be record of what time that this delivery driver happened to be there. You know, you can't walk up to, you know, Mail America. Let's say they had security there. You couldn't just walk in. You have to go in. If you have an appointment with somebody, you sign in and you go to your appointment. Every company does that, except Mail America. Just using them for an example. They need somebody. But yeah, everybody weather through this, stay warm, get out and shovel that sidewalk off. Got nothing else to do. Watch your pipes. I went through it. I'm getting off of here. I will talk. Thank y'all for joining me. I will talk with y'all later. I'm out.